It is 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lake.
I'm Ed Lingao. Some stores are watching this Tuesday, April 29. The Ombudsman orders a 6-month preventive suspension of Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia. That's over alleged grave abuse of authority and gross misconduct, among other charges. The case stems from her alleged issuance of a special permit to Shalom Construction without the required environmental clearances from the DENR. In a statement, Garcia says she respects the processes of the law but disagrees with the suspension. A recent Octa survey shows that majority of Filipinos trust and approve of the performance of President Bongbong Marcos, but there's a decline in his numbers. From Octa's fourth quarter survey, Marcos' 65% trust rating dropped to 60%, while his performance rating dipped to 59% from 64%. VP Duterte, on the other hand, saw a notable surge. Her trust rating is up to 58% from 49% last year, while her performance rating rose to 56% from 48%. And while most Filipinos remain satisfied with the performance of Senate President Escudero and Speaker Romualdez, both experienced declines in their ratings. The survey was conducted between April 2 and April 5 among 1,200 adult respondents with a plus-minus 3% error margin.
President Bongbong Marcos said he disagrees with his sister, Senator Amy Marcos, who claimed that the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte was part of a broader effort to bring down the Dutertes. Marcos said everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but he declined to give further comment. Meanwhile, Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla, whom the senator once investigated, said it's good that she believes in due process, unlike the people she supposedly follows. Former presidential spokesman Harry Roque once again denied involvement in offshore gaming operations. This comes after he was charged with qualified human trafficking over his alleged connection with a POGO in Porac, Pampanga. Roque claimed his involvement with Whirlwind Corporation, the operator of Lucky South 99, was purely legal. Cassandra Ong and 48 others are facing the same non-bailable charge. And Mark Carney's Liberal Party won Canada's federal election, retaining power but falling short of an outright majority in Parliament. The win follows a surge in support fueled by nationalist sentiment after U.S. President Donald Trump threatened tariffs and suggested annexing Canada. The victory follows a few days after a car ramming tragedy at a Filipino festival in Vancouver. 4 of the 11 victims killed in Saturday's incident have been identified. That's a school counselor and a family of 3 whose youngest member was only 5 years old.
And joining us today is Storycon's resident political pundit who was not here yesterday for some strange reason he will not reveal to us.
But he refuses.
I was in spirit.
But his whereabouts he refuses to divulge.
Hindi naramdaman yung spirit ko.
Naramdaman konti. We were talking about you. Kasi kung
That's
sino
when
yung
there was
wala.
a cloud overhead yesterday. Tito Ronald Llamas.
And of course, from the Philippine Star, Editor-in-Chief, Ami Pamintuan. Hi, Ami.
Hi, Ami.
Hi, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Hi, welcome back, Ronald.
Subdued pa rin ang kanyang color.
Subdued pa rin.
Hindi siya mahilig ng humihiyaw eh. Hindi siya mahilig ng
Ay,
humihiyaw.
minsan
Minsan lang. Pero,
minsan may striking pattern si Ate.
very subdued siya katulad ko.
Ay, teka. Fake news yun.
Parang fake. Parang, nga, I agree. Parang fake news yun, no? Paano ka naging subdued?
Hindi humihiyaw.
Ujus. Uy,
Ito, niluluto ka, no?
speaking of subdued, yung news na binasa ko just now with President Marcos saying that
That was subdued.
he disagrees with his sister. Sabi niya,
Everybody is entitled to her own opinion.
correct, but I disagree. But if we have the video, can we roll the video, please? Kasi ang gusto kong punahin, hindi yan, yung isa, yung when he was ambushed on the sidelines of an event. I think that was with Prime Minister Ishiba. And
Isila.
tinanong siya about what Senator Amy Marcos said this morning about her findings. And he said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I disagree. And then he abruptly walked away. Yun yung part na gusto ko ipakita sana. If we have that video of the ambush interview. As in,
May framework siya na ayaw niyang makipagbanatan sa kanyang kapatid. Unlike yung kapatid na iba yung framework. Na dapat
every chance.
Oo.
Every
Medyo
chance.
magkaiba sila ng personality. Obvious ba?
Oo. Pero nainis siya. You can see in his face nung tinanong siya noon. Sinagot niya and
So
then
it's
he
not what
abruptly
he
walked
said,
away.
it's more like how he said
The
it.
body language.
The body language.
Yeah, that's
Subdued
what I
pa rin.
wanted.
And turn and walk away.
Ikaw ba, sabihin mo ba
Roughly.
yung kay Manny Mogato, that Manny Mogato is entitled to his own opinion? Di ba?
Si Mogs man, hihilik lang naman yun eh.
Wala. Well, I guess we don't have that video. Pero anyways, it's on our Facebook page. If you want to see that video, punta lang kayo sa One News Facebook page. You'll see what I'm talking about. Very subdued yun, di ba? Oo,
Parang yung
kita.
parang yung polo ngayon ni Tito Ronaldo, may pagka-subdued. Diba? Yung polo lang.
I don't-
Yung aura, hindi.
Yung ora hindi. Yung ora hindi.
Oo naman.
Okay.
Ito, wala kang gagawin
Para
tama.
parang miniluluto ka eh. Meron
rito.
ramdam ako miniluluto ka eh.
Katabi ko lalo na sa kanan, wala kang gagawin matino, wala kang gagawin tama, wala kang gagawin...
Parang katabi yung principal, gano'n.
Oo, ganun eh. Ganyan yung mga teacher nung elementary na nilalagyan ko yung thumbtacks ng upuan.
Tino ko.
Ikaw pala yun! So you're that kid.
Tingnan mo kung may ruler siya. Pamalo sa iyo.
Hindi na pwede yun.
Laging hinahampas yung kamay ko na ruler.
Ami, kamusta? What are you monitoring this afternoon?
Hinihintay namin kung anong kalalabasan kasi 5 p.m. pa yung meeting ni BBM with the Prime Minister of Japan.
Oo.
Siguradong may tungkol yan doon sa West Philippine Sea.
Oo.
Apart from our security cooperation, of course, with Japan, siguradong meron niyang sasabihin eh. And of course, yung economic, considering what's happening now with the world, ang gulo-gulo, titignan natin kung merong pwedeng gawin yung sa mga bilaterals na ganyan, anong pwedeng gawin. Kaya, inaabangan natin yon. At saka, we're waiting for Gwen Garcia. Alam niyo naman yon. She's quite feisty. Susunod ba yon dyan sa
Miss...
Ano ba ibig sabihin ng she disagrees with the suspension?
Pero very timely yung pagkakakuan sa kanya, pagkakasuspend
Oo nga.
2 weeks before
Yan
Yeah,
ang
last
pabagsak
two.
eh. Yung mga
The crunch time,
suspensions
yes.
just weeks before.
Diba?
There was also a round of
Sa
suspensions just
election, yan
before
ang
the last election.
pinaka-importante. Itong last 2 weeks na to eh.
Pero si Governor Gwen, administration, no? Yung anak niya, member ng cabinet. Yung kanyang
Yes.
son-in-law ay deputy speaker. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ito simpleng governor. No? Ito yung pinakamalaking probinsya
Kaya nga.
sa buong Pilipinas.
With the biggest
Kaya nga.
number of tama? Ito lang, di ba? Cebu has the biggest number of votes. The province.
Voter
Kaya
base.
nga, anong
yan ang
impact
pinakamalaki
niyan
voters.
sa
Ayun, 1
Marcos
point. Teka.
alyansa votes and the popularity of BBM, no? Kasi it's tanking in Visayas, di ba? Yan yung napakalakas ang lakas ng bailiwick niyan eh.
Kaya ang
titignan
tanong,
natin.
ito ba ay operation ng oposisyon o it's something else?
Ano sa tingin mo?
Di ko kilala kung sino nagsampa eh. Kaso eh.
We also don't know him. Mr. Moises Garcia de Parin. Tapos, we already have a statement from Governor Gwen. Sabi niya, it's a long statement,
Yeah.
but part of it reads, it's important to note that the complainant is a known political figure affiliated with partisan groups. We will allow the facts, not political motivations, to speak for themselves. So essentially, she's saying that this is a political attack.
Pero dahil na-suspend siya ng isang government agency, that speaks
Yes.
volumes. No? Dun sa ano mga nangyayari.
Oo.
Dahil nga hindi lang siya
Yan na nga.
stalwart ng gobyerno, she represents the biggest province in terms of voting base sa buong Pilipinas.
3.4 million registered voters in the
Yes.
province of Cebu.
Diyan na-
Number 1.
Diyan nanalo si Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo
Oo.
dati. Di ba? Naalala mo, Ami? Noong 2004.
Yeah. Pero talagang malakas magdala ng mga botante ang sila Gwen eh, hindi ba? Kaya tingnan nga natin kung anong magiging impact. Siyempre, magsususpetsa yan na, ombudsman yan eh, magsususpetsa yan na, uy, sino kaya itong dito?
This is over a
Yan lang yan.
water contract. which she awarded daw, so allegedly without DENR permit.
Mahalaga yung water contract sa Cebu dahil merong problema
Yes.
sa
Water
Cebu.
shortage sila, may
sa
water shortage.
Yeah, remember just only a few months ago, they had a drought. Diba? There was a serious problem. Hindi drought, kundi there was a serious problem with the water supply. Di ba meron mga pila balde dyan? Kaya controversial yung issue na yan dyan.
Tayo may drought tayo
Hinihintay
na
natin ngayon kung anong mangyayari sa Cebu. Kasi tuloy-tuloy na yan. Kahit 5 o'clock yung close of office hours, I'm sure merong mga movement siya na marami siyang supporter. Tingnan natin.
Sinabi naman niya that her legal team is already taking all necessary steps to challenge this complaint. Sabi mo, tayo merong drought ng ano?
ng matitinong mga politiko.
Well.
But you know, it's also curious. How often do you come across...
Tinanong ako.
Well, how often do you
Akala
come
ko naman
across...
serious drought of something.
Seryoso yun.
Okay, you're serious.
Seryoso.
Okay. Siya yun.
But how often do you come across a case where...
Ibig sabihin, bumabaha tayo ng matitinong politiko.
How often do you come across a case where somebody suspended for failing to get an ECC clearance before a contract is awarded? I mean, yes, it is.
Usually-
technically, it's
It's a requirement.
Technically, it's
But no one ever gets suspended
often-
because
yeah.
of that. Usually, we find out after the fact. Like yung case with the Bohol Resort,
And minsan nga,
it blew up, tapos
minsan
sakali
hindi
na
mo-
lang natin nalaman na walang ECC.
Isa mo, hindi mo mahabol pa rin eh.
Correct, correct.
Wala naman tayo naisip pahiwatig. No?
Except-
tayo.
Except may kakaibang drought dito.
Saka na-a-appeal ba yan? Na-a-appeal ba siya, Ed?
I'm not sure.
Kapag
But it's
ombudsman.
an administrative complaint.
Parang-
It's not even a criminal complaint eh.
Suspension siya.
order ba ng
It's about
ombudsman
suspension.
na-a-appeal?
I'm not sure if it's
Yan ang hindi ako
appealable.
sigurado.
Kasi it's preventive suspension. It's not
Yes,
it's
it's
not a
preventive
penalty
eh.
per se.
Hindi yata appealable. I'm not too sure, pero hindi yata appealable yan.
Baka kasi yung na-appeal is yung
Kasi kung
suspension as punishment eh.
parusang suspension, you can appeal eh. Parusa yun eh.
yeah.
Pero ito preventive to eh.
Oh, it's just to take you out of office.
During election.
There you go.
During election.
Okay.
Hindi, habang iniimbestigahan yung kaso.
naman, just call a
di ba?
spade a spade eh.
Yan ang rason doon.
Ganun yung pwedeng gawin pag
Kaya
wala
hindi
kang
ko alam
TF.
kung na-appeal.
Oo, I mean, you're right. So we don't know yet, pero we're sure na i-challenge ito ng kampo ni Governor Guen. May bagong survey which took us a little bit of surprise kasi akala ko yun
Yes.
yung last eh. Pero meron pa pala. Okay, so Okta survey. But this is trust and performance, hindi to senatorial survey.
60%.
BBM at 60% for trust rating, which is slightly down. Performance is 59%, down 5 points. Si VP Sara, performance is at 58%, which is up 5 points. Trust is at 56%, up 6 points. So it mirrors the movements, the general
Pero
movements of
ibang-iba yan. Ibang-iba
Malayo yung
Ibang-iba yan sa
results
Pulse
nila.
sa SWS.
Malayo,
malayo.
malayo siya. Yun din ang napansin ko. Malayo siya sa Pulse Asia, ha?
Kasi here,
Ang laki
Kasi ito
ng-
labang pa siya eh.
Of course,
Majority pa rin siya.
sasabihin nila dyan ay may mga may pagkakaiba sa tanong, may pagkakaiba sa... Ayaw nila i-emphasize yung differences eh.
ano ba yung differences talaga?
Ayan, 60%.
Hindi,
Isang
I mean,
35%.
oo.
Kasi 60% is pretty high, ha?
60 is
It's
very
pretty high.
And it's
Considering all the
majority.
turbulence that's been happening.
Bumaba daw
Nang
from
mataas siya.
65. Bumaba daw from 65.
Pero ano yun eh, medyo maliit siya, 5 points, medyo maliit siya.
Oo.
Magandang
But
topic
compared
yan.
to the
Ano?
Pulse Asia,
Reg.
nakalaki talaga ng binagisa.
Magandang topic yan for
Pero
a
eto-
research paper.
50% mataas siyang approval rating na yan.
Yes, correct. Versus yung Pulse Asia, which we just discussed
25.
a few weeks ago, na
25%.
napakababa ni
25%.
President. 25.
Baba, sobrang baba.
Sobra. So, 25% versus 25% Pulse Asia versus 60% Okta.
Magandang
So,
pag-aralan yan.
Ang
Isang
layo-layo.
research paper. Bakit ganyan kalaki yung discrepancy? Diba? Bakit ganyan kalawak
Kaso pag
yung
tinatanong
dissonance?
natin, di ba, sabi nila, they don't wanna comment on the methodology of each other. Kaya
Ang
hindi
problema
natin
kasi,
alam.
kahit ano man methodology yan, magkaiba yung output eh. wala
Oo
man,
nga.
wala man lang sa margin of
performance lang
error.
naman, saka di ba? Yun lang naman eh. Do you approve of hindi ba ganun yan?
Pero
Basic
important
naman yung
kasi
question doon, di ba?
important kasi ang survey because they help shape public opinion.
Correct. Yeah.
They can
Yes.
help create bandwagon, di ba? It can
And that's why it's always getting accused of mind conditioning. Right?
Yes.
Kasi when you
Yes.
talk about it, parang the more it becomes a reality. Right?
nakaka-demoralize sa
Yan
mga
ang criticism
mabababa.
na sa mga survey.
Diba?
Lalo na sa di ba? Lalo na diyan sa mga Senate race, 'di ba? Sinabi ko din yan kaila Professor Rai. Sabi ko syempre pati yung mga financier, yung mga supporter, mag-iisip yan ito na lang suportahan ko. And then nagiging self-fulfilling, 'di ba? Na ito bakapan ko to. Ito, taanohan ko yung mga kasama ko. Ito na lang baka pa natin kasi winner to Di ba nagiging self-fulfilling yon?
Correct.
So, nag-aaralan daw nila yung impact na yon pero tuloy-tuloy yung mga survey na ganyan.
Okay, let's put a pin on that first, Ami. Balikan natin later because now we have to bring in our first guest. We have National Security Council Assistant Director General Jonathan Malaya. Thanks for joining Storycon. Welcome
sir.
back.
Good afternoon.
ADG, can you hear us?
Good
Yes,
afternoon,
yes, I do.
Yusek.
Good
Long time no see.
Yes, Sek. We just
Sek ba,
we just
Yusek?
had a meeting this morning. Good to hear you again.
Ayun, buti pa si ADG, sinasabi sa amin kung ano yung saan ka galing no? Ikaw.
O, teka, nag-meeting doon sila. Baka makichismis
Okay, mag-chismis na lang kami.
Oo nga.
Kape lang, kape lang.
Sek, did you talk about yung what happened sa Sandy Cay?
Oh, yes. Well, over the weekend, there was this statement coming from the Chinese Coast Guard na they have seized it, no, and they exercise sovereignty over it. So, kagad-agad naman nagpadala tayo ng team doon, and we raised our flag as well. And there is no illegal occupation in Pag-asa case, in any of the Pag-asa case.
Yes, sir.
So, what was reported by the Chinese Coast Guard is obviously fake news.
Yes, sir. Pero sir, last year pa napag-uusapan to na the danger of somebody occupying Pag-asa Cay, which is just almost across Pag-asa Island. What's the plan here? Are we, I understand kasi, wala pa rin tayong position doon or we have not established anything there, unlike yung 2017 plan. Pero are we planning to do something about Pag-asa Cay?
Well, this is something kasi that within the purview of the National Maritime Council kung what's going to be our policy there. No? But the existing policy is we don't construct features in unoccupied features of the West Philippines Sea.
Yeah,
because of the,
the 2002.
2002 Declaration of Conduct.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we don't want to be accused of not following the Declaration of Conduct. So hindi tayo naglalagay ng we're not installing any permanent structure in the Pag-asa case, and we just continue to monitor the situation there.
Yes, sir. Kahit tarpaulin.
Pero Yusek, pwedeng mag-intensify ang patrols ng China dyan. Kasi iniisip natin, considering na ang nag-announce nung istoryang yon was the Chinese state media. Hindi naman nila ginagawa yun about Sandy Cay before. Kaya hindi ba signal yon na may balak sila na pareho sa Scarborough na blockade na nila yun Baka hindi kaya pwedeng gawin din yon dyan?
Well, dun naman sa Scarborough, in fairness to them, blockade lang nila, but they have not established permanent an installation or a permanent structure there, no? Because nga of the 2002 Declaration of Conduct. They are always there inside the lagoon, but there's no structure. So dito sa Sandy Cay, sa tingin namin, wala naman silang planong mag-place ng permanent structure. But of course, the possibility is always there. We hope this is not a precursor to an actual occupation.
Pero di ba, ADG, medyo delikado itong Sandy Cay, yung ginagawa nila rito. Dahil kung tatambakan nila itong Sandy Cay lang ito, ng enough corals, sand, etc. At ito ay tataas ng several meters above sea level, ay hindi ito malayo na kung i-occupy nila, diyan nila susukatin yung isang bagong territorial waters at saka EEZ nila. Di ba may ganong klaseng danger, ASEC? Hindi siya simpleng Hindi siya simpleng picture taking. Kung meron silang mas masamang layunin o plano para diyan.
Yes, tama po kayo. And it's not good, no, pag nangyari yan. Kasi nga, pasok sa territorial sea ng Pag-asa Island, yung Pag-asa case. So, definitely, sana hindi ito precursor, no? It's going to be a big challenge to us, no? That's why ang ginagawa natin ngayon is we are intensifying our patrol. Palagi tayong naglaland ng mga tao doon to unfurl the flag, no? To hoist the flag, and to maintain regular presence doon sa area kasi malapit lang naman siya sa Pag-asa Island.
Sir, can we just clarify what does intensifying presence mean? Does it mean 24/7 patrols na tayo? And are you looking to station somebody there? If not permanently, pero for a stretch of time whilst things are getting heated?
Yes. Lagi naman tayo nagpapatrolya doon. We're going to put more frequent patrols in the area, no? Just to make sure na hindi tayo maunahan kung meron mang mga planong masama, no? Yung Chinese Coast Guard, because it is really very alarming that for the first time naglabas sila ng ganung statement sa Chinese state media pa.
Yeah. And by patrols,
Director,
are we
merong suggestion si Justice Antonio Carpio na dali na daw yung case sa mag-file daw tayo ng case sa International Court of Justice.
ICJ.
Viable ba yun? Pinag-iisipan ba yun ng gobyerno?
Yes, pinag-iisipan po yan. In fact, may task force nang nabuo to study that. But again, it's a decision of the National Maritime Council where the Department of Justice, the Office of the Solicitor General, all of our legal team are there. So it's going to be their decision, no? Not of the National Task Force West Philippines.
Sir, I was reading last night again yung arbitral award ruling. If I read it correctly, the ruling virtually said that that's already a high tide elevation. Ibig sabihin that already has its own territorial sea of 12 nautical miles. In other words, it's already up for grabs. I'm talking about Sandy Cay, of course.
I don't know kung tama yung kung kasi it cannot it cannot maintain life, no?
Yes, sir. Not an island.
Pag-asa case.
Not an
So
island.
I don't know if it will generate its own territorial sea. What I'm sure of is that Pag-asa Island has its own territorial sea, no? And itong Pag-asa case is within the territorial sea of the
Yes, sir.
of the
Yes, sir.
Philippines. Therefore, we exercise sovereignty over it. Kaya hindi po tayo magpapatalo dyan. No? We will defend it vigorously as we defend Pag-asa Barangay Pag-asa in Quezon City. No? Whether it's Pag-asa Cay, Pag-asa Island, or Barangay Pag-asa, it's all the same to us.
There was a lot of alarm kasi, sir, last year, I remember we had a team or several teams that visited Sandy Cay or Pag-asa Cay last year. They were driven away by Chinese forces, especially the Chinese helicopter that hovered so close to them that there were several injuries among the team. So that's how they're trying
Yes.
that's how they're trying to enforce their claim over that area.
Yes, may kasama pang media noon kaya lumabas yun, no, sa balita. But there has also been many operations by government, by the Philippine Navy, by the Philippine Coast Guard, by other entities of government na hindi naman hinaras, no? At nakatingin lang sila, nandun lang sila, pinagmamatsyag lang sila. So, paiba-iba rin talaga, no? Paiba-iba rin talaga yung nagiging reaksyon ng Chinese Coast Guard whenever we have our own operations in that area.
ATR, anong ibig sabihin nito sa context nung ine-escalate na negotiation sa ASEAN para sa Code of Conduct at saka dun sa de-escalation na apparently resulta nung agreement natin with China over Ayungin, no? So ano to? Ito ba ay a new scaling up dahil nga very significant itong Sandy Cay? ito ba ay tinatabunan ba niya ng cold water? Yung mga high expectations dun sa ayungin at saka dun sa code of conduct na pinag-uusapan ngayon sa ASEAN. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Itong ginagawa ng China. Dahil ang China kasi hindi naniniwala yan sa sa mga coincidences. No, lahat sa kanila pinaplano eh. So, hindi ako naniniwala na ito ay parang ganun lang. Meron silang bigger plan dito eh. Kumbaga, the long game. Ganun mag-isip ang China eh. Kaya hindi siya hiwalay, hindi siya separate sa isang strategy or plano.
Well, unang-una, yung yung provisional understanding only applies to Ayungin Shoal. No? So, nagkaroon tayo ng de-escalation doon, naging maayos ang ating mga resupply missions. But unfortunately, it only applies to Ayungin. It does not apply to other parts of the West Philippine Sea. But I agree with you na suspect itong timing nito, suspect itong announcement na ito ng China at this time, no? And really, tama ka na they play the long game. So this is really a warning to us, no? That there may be nefarious plans in the air. So we really have to make sure that we are ready, and our armed forces and our Coast Guard must be very vigilant para hindi tayo maagrabyado. Ika nga, no? Because as I said, pag-asa case is within the territorial sea, therefore it is part of the territory of the Philippines.
Yeah. And to that end, ADG, have you heard from the Chinese embassy? Have they reached out to the government? Especially since you call this the picture of the Chinese nationals on Sandy Cay as fake news, right? Have they been someone to explain it? That's number one. And secondly, yung medyo related to that, have they also responded to Senator Tolentino's allegation that that they've hired a troll farm to influence the elections here?
Well, we're still waiting for the action of the Chinese embassy. We have not heard from them. No. Yes, I made that challenge to the Chinese embassy, and they really need, because the Filipino people deserve an explanation why they have hired a troll farm. No. But as to the actions of the Department of Foreign Affairs, because it's going to be the DFA who's going to summon them, we have not heard yet from the DFA on what diplomatic measures they have undertaken or will undertake insofar as this issue is concerned.
Okay.
So,
Pero anong bago doon, Director? Kasi we are accusing China of interference in our elections. At meron namang pangalan yung kumpanyang yan eh. Nakausap na ba natin sila? Merong mga names dyan with yung Infinitus ba yan? Have we summoned them? Wala kami nababalit na question na sila. Anong latest doon sa election interference by China?
Yes, nagsimula na po yung nagsimula na yung investigasyon ng National Bureau of Investigation based on the pieces of evidence by Senator Tolentino. So, I think we'll just have to wait for the case build-up being done by the NBI. Ang NBI naman po natin ay napakasipag, no? Ngayong araw nga, may nahuli na naman sila na nag-iispiya sa may paligid ng COMELEC, no? So, NBI Director Santiago has already said that they will conduct a thorough investigation. So we'll just have to wait for the results of that investigation.
yes, sir. I was about to ask about that. Sir, do we have an idea what kind of equipment they found dun sa Chinese national? Of course, all we can tell are black boxes. But I mean, do we know what exactly they're harvesting from that area?
It's a developing story na nakita ko rin naman sa media ngayon. I don't have the details yet. We have not yet heard from the NBI.
Gusto ko lang balikan, ADG, yung pinag-uusapan natin about yung troll farms na resulta ng Senate investigation. Nasabi nga ni Senator Francis Tolentino is but the tip of the iceberg. Kung sakaling may makikita tayo ng mas malawakang ganitong klaseng attempt na i-undermine yung ating eleksyon at yung ating political system, this is very serious. Ito yung tinatawag to paraphrase Karl von Clausewitz, ito yung tinatawag niya na war by other means. Paano? Ito nasa level na to ng sabotage. No? Nasa level na to ng demolition in a perhaps a more insidious way. Dahil election natin yung tatamaan Kaya dapat siguro mas mag-scale up din tayo. Sino ba ang tinutulungan nila? Dahil yung ito ay to benefit a particular group of Filipinos, then this is tantamount to treason, betrayal, etc. So, kung hindi natin to haharapin ng ganun kaseryoso, baka mawili itong mga dayuhang ito.
Yeah, I completely agree, Sec. Kaya nga, during the Senate hearing, I mentioned there that this is typical Chinese tactics, no? It's what is called as the three warfare. There's media and information warfare, there's psychological warfare, and there's legal warfare. And the act of the Chinese embassy contracting a troll farm to influence political discourse in the Philippines is a part and parcel of media and information warfare plus psychological warfare. So really, this is not something that is done by a friendly power, and definitely not by a diplomatic mission in the Philippines. Unfortunately, may smoking gun na nakuha si Senator Tolentino, nakuha niya yung mga teke, nakuha niya yung mga kontrata, no? So definitely, the Chinese embassy has to explain to the Filipino people and to the Philippine government bakit niya ginagawa itong mga ganito.
The candidates that are allegedly being supported by the Chinese embassy, the local candidates, either supported or backed or funded, I understand you can't give names yet, but how many are we talking about?
Kami kasi we go where the evidence will point us, no? Based on the revelation of Senator Tolentino, the troll farms were attacking Congressman Barbers, no? Because Congressman Barbers took a very strong position against what China is doing in the West Philippine Sea. But other than that, wala pang other concrete evidence, and it would be responsible for the NFC to impute certain people without evidence.
Okay.
Pero kung sakasakali, Director, bawal yun, di ba? That's against our election law na foreign support for any candidate dito sa atin. Pwede silang i-disqualify kung sakasakali lang na merong malink dyan sa mga troll farms na yan na sinusuportahan naman nila. Pwedeng ipa-disqualify yan, di ba?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. Foreign interference in elections is illegal, no? And that could be grounds for disqualification and other criminal and administrative charges.
Okay. We'll leave that there for now, ADG, because I understand you're in between meetings. Thank you so much for making time for us today on Storycon. That was National Security Council Assistant Director General Jonathan Malaya. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director.
ADG.
Oh.
Sorry. Akala ikaw na. You're watching Storycon on One News. Sorry. We just need to take a very quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Pwede naman.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.
And we got developing news in the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Regina Lay, still with us, Ami Pamintuan of the Philippine Star, and Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit.
Amin, hindi mo na nakikita, nagpapaluan na itong dalawang itong dalawang katabi ko.
Nag-away kami
Bakit?
over the local candidates.
Kwento mo nga.
Ingat. Huwag ko nagpenda.
No, because nagugulat lang ako with some of the posters that I see. For example, in Makati, si Luis Campos is running for mayor, right? He is the husband of former mayor Abby Binay.
Abby.
And in his posters, nilagay niya yung name ni Abby. So, naging Abby Luis Campos. So, I'm like, who's really running for mayor here? Diba? Tapos, sa Pasig din,
Na-dismaya siya. Ang sabi ko, Ami, saan ka ba nakatira all these years?
Oo
Nasa
nga.
kuweba ka ba? Di ba? Sabi ko.
yun yung sagot
Ang
niya.
ganda
Maya,
ng Metro
dugo na
Manila,
tumakbo.
ang daming ganyan ngayon.
Oh, just like si Senator Bong Revilla changed his name to his last name to Bong. So dapat si Lani should be Lani Bong Revilla din. Diba? I don't know if that works. Basta he legally changed his name, right? So he could be higher up the list.
Actually, mas marami pa silang mas shameful pa na ginagawa kaysa dyan.
Tulad ng
No, take it from Ronald.
Name recall lang ngayon, pang name recall. Kasi isipin mo, kung halimbawa si Senator Amy, ginamit niya yung full name niya. Maria Imelda Marcos yan.
Talking about names, sabi nga ni Vice President Sara, no, magpalit na siya ng apelyido. Diba? Parang hindi siya affected.
Kaso, ang maiiwan daw na apelyido, Romualdez.
speaking of
Sense of
Magpalit siya ng
humor din
apelyido.
siya na.
Pero sa bagay,
Si Vicky.
pinapahukay nga yung tatay niya. Tinatrapon sa West Philippine Sea, hindi siya nag-react eh.
Speaking of Vice President, she's back in fighting form, ah. 'Di ba si Ed napupunya niya
Na bumabait.
dati kung nasa Hague, mabait.
Rumarasyada siya ngayon.
Bumalik na siya ulit. She's back.
Isaksak mo sa lalamunan
Bibig
niya.
mo, yung mansanas.
Yung mansanas.
Parang lechon eh, no?
Sabi niya, she can fight
hanggang
Duterte.
mamatay.
She can fight, ano sabi niya? She can
Hanggang
fight
mamatay. Sa kanal.
Ayun,
kanal,
yan.
Kanal. Problema kasi, pag lumabang ka sa kanal, amoy ka kanal. Diba?
Baka nakikita niya, Ronald, na mukhang she will survive impeachment.
Oo.
Depende sa resulta niyang yung
Or-
Senate, kung yung mga surveys will turn out
Yun na nga.
accurate, ha? Mukhang marami siyang kakamping papasok, eh.
Oo.
Tsaka ang kanya, ang
Diba?
message niya sa mga kalaban niya, lalo na yung mga tumugi sa kanya sa Congress.
Be very
Doon
scared.
Lagot kayo.
Lagmandaan na kayo.
Be afraid.
Oo.
Be
Because-
very afraid. Parang ganun yung kanyang chilling effect eh, di ba? Na tutugisin ko kayo. No? Lalagyan ko ng sana sa mga bibig nyo hanggang
Talagang
kayo ay
tutugisin.
mamatay. Di ba?
Sa mga
Very colorful yung language niya, di ba?
Oo.
Parang,
It's very
parang
vivid.
lechon eh, no? Lalagyan ng mansanas ang bibig.
very vivid.
Oo.
Sa
May
mga,
dala pa siyang mansanas.
sa mga hindi nakanood, she was saying it at the campaign rally for Apple Nieto, who's running against Joel Chua. Si Joel Chua is, of course, Congressman
Manila.
Joel Chua, is, of course, the one who led the
The
Good
Committee on
Government
Good
Yes.
Government.
sa House, which investigated her confidential fund. So, sa mga hindi nakakaalam kung saan niya sinabi yon, that's where she said it. As in, trineten talaga niya.
Oo.
Isaksak sa lalamunan.
Hanggang?
At simula lang yan. Simula lang yan.
Tapusin mo. At saksak mo sa ano niya
Hanggang mamatay. Hanggang
Ayan,
mamatay.
ayan,
Ay,
Euro.
oh yeah, it was at that rally. Oo.
Ayan, ayan.
Ang nagtataka lang ako,
May soundbite ba yan?
nagtataka lang
ayan.
ako kay Isko Moreno. Dahil hindi niya kailangan
audio.
si Sara eh. Dahil ang laki ng lamang niya eh. No? Ang laki
Almost
ng
sweep
lamang
na
niya.
rin eh.
Tapos 2 araw yan. So, dinidare ni Isko ang gobyerno, parang hamon ng magiging 3 taon pang presidente si BBM at kailangan niya ng mga local officials. Dahil sa
Yun yung
IRA,
sinisignal
May
dahil sa
kinampanya
support.
din naman si Isko na alyansa rin.
Oo.
Sinuportahan din na sila Pacquiao. Sabi nga niya, welcome daw everybody sa Manila. Walang audio yung kay eto ba yung sinasabi mo?
Wala to audio eh.
Ronald?
Oo. 2 araw yan eh.
Walang audio eh.
Oh, 2 araw yan, no? Yung ikalawang araw, pumunta siya sa
Walang audio
Tondo.
siya.
Doon sa distrito ni Chua. Kumbaga parang tinutugis niya eh. Tinutugis niya yung mga naging kalaban niya. No? Kaya tingin ko simula lang ito ng pagtugis.
Oo, parang
Siguro no,
made
it's
sense.
giving her confidence na ang taas-taas ng ano niya,
Yung trust
taas
and
ang numbers niya sa
trust and
surveys.
approval.
Tapos yun na nga, yung mga kakampi niya, pumapasok sa Magic 12.
Oo.
Remember, dun sa natirang 12 sa Senate, marami pa rin siya doon kakampi. Di ba? Kapag inad-add mo yun pwede siyang makalusot sa impeachment at pag yan nakalusot sa impeachment, matindi ang labanan na yan all the way to 2028.
Pero alam mo naman, Ami, ang mga senador, hindi pirmi ang mga posisyon yan Depende kung sa
Bagay.
kanilang political calculation, ano bang makakabuti sa kanila between now and 2028. Kaya
Bagay.
pwedeng gumawa ng ibang pressure din ng Malacanang, ang presidente, no, na
Oo.
pwede namang mabago yung balance of forces sa Senado. No, ang tanong lang ay kaya ba nilang gawin yan? Dahil alam mo naman yung presidente, kanina nga, very subdued, no, doon sa kanyang sagot, sa kanyang kapatid, no? Everybody is entitled to her own opinion. No, ganun yung kanyang sagot. No?
Mabait,
So said the
Mabait siya,
president.
no? Si baby brother, mabait.
Oo. Pero nainis talaga siya in that video. Just look it up on our Facebook page. Pero one other thing na lumabas sa press conference ni Senator Amy Marcos this morning is sabi niya, may source daw siya na nagsabi VP Sara will be included in the next ICC warrant, the next
Yes.
batch of ICC warrants. Nung
Kasi sinabi ni Cristina Conti na not the warrant. Ang sabi ni Cristina Conti, she could be included in the investigation. Kasi yung
okay.
period na covered nung indictment includes the time when she was mayor, di ba? Matagal na rin naman natin sinasabi yan, alam natin yon. Pero hindi natin alam kung masasama siya sa warrant.
Actually, kasama siya sa
Yan ang
testimony ni Las Cañas, yung main witness ng ICC. Ang tawag nga sa kanya
Yes,
ni Las
binanggit siya.
Cañas, the mother of Tokhang. No, yun ang
okay.
tawag sa kanya ni Las Cañas. Ano, at alam niya where literally the skeletons were buried. No, alam niya yung mass graves
doon sa
according to
Simiano.
Las Cañas. At sabi ni Senator Llanes ay nakakakuha siya ng in the hundreds of millions galing sa mga drug lords, no? So, ibig sabihin sa paliwanag ng kanyang mga kalaban, nasa gitna siya nitong criminal conspiracy na ito, itong mga paneto. Kaya medyo hindi bago kung sakali na isasama siya sa warrant. Dahil nga, according to the main witness, she is the mother of Tokhang.
Oo. So that could be another curveball, 'di ba? Because between now and we have no idea kailan lalabas yung subsequent warrants, pero July 30 pa naman yung impeachment court. So between now and then, we don't know, anything can happen.
Baka may balita na yung katabi nyo dyan.
Yung katabi namin
Ayaw
ito.
eh.
Ito?
Oo.
Tinatry namin, Ami, ayaw. Mahirap.
Subdued daw siya.
Subject.
Subdued. But yes,
yan oo.
but
Mom's the word
but si Senator Amy, ayaw din niya sabihin who her source was because she was at the press conference, she was asked sino yung source niya for saying that VP Sara could be part of the investigation or could be part of the arrest warrant, next batch of arrest warrant.
Actually,
And she also
madaling
wouldn't
sabihin
say.
yung could be
Could be eh.
Dahil bahagi naman talaga. No? Bahagi siya. Nandun siya sa papeles. Nandun siya sa testimonies. No? At hindi ako lang ang tingin ko lang ay hindi automatic dahil hindi pa siya nakalagay as principal. Ang nakalagay doon as principal, tatlo. No? Si Digong, si Bato, saka si Albayalde.
Albayalde.
There's also rumors, I don't know how true, that si Harry Roque's application has been denied. But
That's been doing the rounds since
Wala,
last
hindi yun,
week pa.
wala, hindi yun ganun kabilis na i-deny.
yun.
mabilis eh.
Pero sa
Kaya
social
I doubt
media,
it.
we were just
I doubt
seeing.
to. Although, pwede siyang ipa-extradite. Dahil meron siyang kaso dito
Non-bailable na.
non-bailable,
Oo.
human trafficking. At medyo sensitive dyan ang Dutch government sa human trafficking. Oo. Kaya mas iba, mas extradition. At dahil wala naman tayong death penalty, pwedeng bumilis yun. Usually kasi ay yung extradition ay hindi nangyayari kung yung bansa na humihingi ng extradition ay may death penalty. No? Very strong in Europe dyan. Pero ito naman, wala naman tayong...
Wala tayong extradition treaty with Netherlands eh.
Wala ba? Baka meron tayo sa Schengen o doon sa ibang mga kwandon. No? Ang alam ko, wala tayo sa Portugal. No? Hindi ko sigurado sa Netherlands.
But even then, it makes sense na they're sensitive to human rights and issues, right? So if
Yes.
considering the non-bailable nga tong human trafficking, it's a very serious charge. What are the odds na ma-approve yung application niya for ano?
Si Hali kasi, for all
Asylum.
his faults, which is many, no, ay matalinong abogado yan. Kaya pwedeng alam niya na pag nag-apply ka ng asylum, mahabang proseso yan. At habang nag-ongoing yung proseso, ay hindi ka naman i-eject.
Oo, you
no?
can kill time.
Yes,
You
at
can-
even
you can-
in the worst case na ma-reject yung asylum mo, hindi ka naman kaagad i-expel. Halimbawa, si Joma Sison, yung alleged chairman ng Communist Party of the Philippines, na-reject yung kanyang asylum, pero hindi siya sinipa sa Netherlands. No?
Pero tinanong ko yan, Ronald, dyan sa mga Europeans, bakit hindi in-eject si Joma? Kasi daw they had a credible, meron daw silang report of a credible threat to the life of Joma. Meron daw silang ganong report na na-receive, na credible daw as far as their assessment is concerned. Eh wala naman akong nababalitaan na may death threat kay Harry. So, ewan ko kung paano ano niyan. Kasi,
But if
remember,
you ask
sabi
him, I'm
ng
sure he'll
gobyerno
say there is.
natin, pag tinanong ang gobyerno natin about the political persecution, pasabihin nila hindi political persecution yan, may criminal indictment siya rito.
Tama.
Well, now, yes, including with the 48 others and si Cassandra Ong, one of the principal players in the
But that's
Yeah.
interesting
South
context yung kay
99.
Ami na yung kay Joma sa asylum was denied nga, but because of reports of a credible threat against him, they refused to boot him out for the longest time.
Unless, paano alam ko yung Dutch government humihingi ng mga testigo rito sa Pilipinas para kasuhan si Joma ng human rights violation during the kahos, purging within
Yung
the
kahos.
Communist Party, yung kahos.
Yes, the purge.
Kung may nag-testify, pwede siyang i-expel. Iba kasi yung kaso sa human rights. Pwede siyang
Pero ang
i-expel.
tagal niya doon, ang tagal niya doon.
Oo. Actually, later on, nakakuha siya ng citizenship sa Spain. Using yung window na kung mapapatunayan mo na yung ancestors mo ay nandito sa Pilipinas during the Treaty of Versailles, pwede kang mag-apply.
You're eligible.
Ginamit niya yon at saka si Fidel Agcawili,
Oo.
yung kanyang kasama sa Utrecht. So, ang alam ko, nung latter part ng buhay niya, nakakuha siya ng ganon. No?
That's how he was able to stay so long.
Naging multi academic,
So
yung
he-
planong expulsion sa
He became a
kanya.
Spanish citizen na ba?
Yeah. Totoo yun. Kaya nga nung nagne-negotiate ako sa kanya sa peace talks, sabi ko sa kanya, saan mo gustong gawin ang signing? Sa Pamba, gusto mo sa Beijing? Sabi niya, hindi, mga kanyan mga capitalist roader, mga traidor kay kay Mao Zedong. Sabi ko, saan mo gusto? Malaga, sa Spain. Nagulat ako, Malaga. Hindi ko alam, meron na pala siyang citizenship doon.
Well, that could be one path for former spokesman Harry Roque. We'll see.
Pero mas gusto niya Dubai dahil nandun si Michael Yang.
I-counter mo. Hindi ko alam paano ko i-counter yun.
Wag mo na i-counter.
Subdued.
Basta siya yun
Subdued.
That's not us. We are gonna leave that there. Thank you so much for joining Storycon today. Ami Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star. Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit. Join us again tomorrow, 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Regina Lane.
I'm Ed Lingao. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.